Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kami dari kelompok 7. Topik kami adalah politik internasional dalam Eropa Barat. Baik, akan dimulai dari saudari Dini Fitria. Bagaimana?
My name is Dini Fitria. Yeah. I'm from Group 7, so we're talking about the open policy of Germany. So during 2015, the series of crises Europe has been facing during the past year was followed by a migrant crisis. While the German Federal Chancellor Angela Merkel were intensively discussed as the Chancellor took a visible role in managing the crisis. However, as the crisis evolved, Merkel policies start to meet opposite, both from the other European Union member states and domestically. Although the German government was able to agree on national package of measures regarding the management of the migrant crisis quite early on, there have been disputes between the Chancellor and her own party, CDU, as well as with the sister party CSU and junior coalition party SPD. Furthermore, in course of the events, the support of the German public has been fluctuating. And since the unification of German, the scholars have been debating on the future direction of the German foreign and European policy. Some scholars view that change is take place in German foreign policy, imposing German responsibility or even German returning to normality, which does not imply unilateralism, but rather weigh foreign policy option from cost-benefit perspective. The opposite end of researcher rely on continue of German foreign policy and view German rule even as civilian power. Abstain from the use of military force. However, there is a room for nuanced analysis between this approach where continue and change interact in the concrete policy-making world. I feel that in recent years, the role of Chancellor Merkel in guiding German foreign and European policy has grown. During the second term, in the aftermath of the financial and economic crisis, the link between Merkel political belief and German policy contest, and during the third period of office, this development seems to have continued. However, during the third term, the domestic has gained and Merkel is leading CDU-SPD gain coalition. Furthermore, in the scale the current migration crisis in international challenge, the European states have no face indicates. This article will qualitatively examine Chancellor Merkel, causes belief, and cognitive policy framing process during the migrant crisis in 2015. Furthermore, as there is an increasing need for more complex synthesis of synthesis of international and domestic explanation, a rationalist two-level games approach will be applied to complement the analysis. Each of the three levels of analysis will be considered in tracking the crisis Merkel is trapping between the international and national level. A bigger picture of the migrant question and longer-term policies are required European-wide and internationally, but at the same time, state and the public are facing the short-term consequences of the migration flow and calling for quick solution. This the German policy of continue is again changed with announcement of change. The article will try to cover two questions: which type of nouns of continue and change is it possible to suffer and on Chancellor Merkel policy framing during the first year of the migrant crisis. How will it be possible to explain this change? The qualitative conductual content analysis will be used to draw inference based on Merkel's speech hit both to European and national audience, European Parliament and German Bundestag, as well as interview and speech held in various press conferences in edition footer newspaper. material will be used in expanded domestic international synergy in Chancellor Merkel policy conduct. Thank you.
Okay, next, two in the point, belief, frame, and two-level games. Connecting constructivist research approach to rationalist theoretical frameworks. This article will study Chancellor Merkel causal belief and cognitive policy framing process during Europe migrant crisis. A causal belief can be defined a cognitive understanding of the world, which provide guidelines or strategies or individual on how to achieve their objective. Problem with belief about the case and effect involved. They view that there is a certain effect that is also special about its case and contrary. If there is a certain cause, there are also expectations about its effect. As a consequence, explanation can often be given for even without analyzing information in the more complex. I view that with the summation of this casual belief, the reader aims to influence order both internationally and domestically. However, the institutional context where the framing takes the place for both internationally and domestically should also be examined, as it may be crucial in defining whether the framing will be influenced. Yeah. Hence, in addition to ideational, the analysis should also focus on the institutional setting, the political context in which actor strategies and are potential organized across a political space and toward a policy outcome. Okay, international outcome may depend on the strategy a leader chooses to influence his own and other countries' domestic policies. One very important phenomena on the two-level game approach is termed as synergy. According the as synergy when international action are employed to alter outcomes otherwise expect in the domestic area. By use the power in setting the international agenda or linking issues international, the leader has the power to shape the way in which issue the approach, frame, and decide domestically. To conclude, I feel that the logic of appropriateness work alongside the logic of consequence in the concept policy marking work. I agree with Feinmore in that the constructivist and nationalist approach should be like theoretically in order to analyze the different ones of policymaking and to understand how individual, domestic, and international level interact with the each other. Thank you for point two and the next.
Point three, analyzing Chancellor Merkel's policy framing process in double-edged national and international strategies during Europe migrant crisis. Merkel's value affecting both national and European migration policies and actions. As the migration question rose onto the agenda of the EU heads of state and government during spring 2015, Merkel held the view that all member states had the responsibility to take part in receiving refugees. The solidarity went hand in hand with responsibility. She pointed out that all the member states need to be implement a joint European system to deal with asylum seekers. Furthermore, cooperation with the countries of origin and transit states would be necessary. Merkel viewed that EU-level action was needed in order to meet the migration challenge. She discussed the strong role of Germany in Europe by stating that once again, it came down to Germany's power and strength in tackling challenge. She considered that, in contrast to the past, the world saw Germany as a country of hope and chance. From early on, Merkel stated her personal commitment and values in regard to the migration and refugee crisis. She considered that there was a clear juridical basis, which was derived from the Basic Law. The Basic Law for political asylum knew no restriction in regard to the number of asylum seekers. During the first month of migrant crisis, Merkel mainly framed the migrant question in terms of a national tax based on values and maintained to German people we're schaffen das. We will manage this. She considered that the government, lender, and municipalities were capable of taking the right and necessary measures. However, things should be accelerated. She pointed out that the government would agree on a comprehensive package of measures in 24 September 2050 and hoped that the package would be carried quickly through Parliament. Because of the historical burden, the migration challenge was not an easy question for Germany. Therefore, Merkel continuously stressed the positive means and actions taken domestically and made the migrant question a national concern with the aim of gathering the support of all societal groups. One of the most important migrants. Hence, Merkel's national frame included integration measures from early on. One of the reasons why Merkel paid so much attention to integration was due to German experience from the 60s, when Germany welcomed foreign workers, Gastarbeiter. She admitted that the integration did not succeed well back then. According to Merkel, the German economy was strong, its labor market robust, and even receptive in reference to qualified employees. She stressed that lessons should be learned from the past and that integration should now be given the highest priority. She also underlined that if Germany was successful in the integration task, it will bring more chance than risk. Hence, if the migrants would be integrated properly, if they would learn the language and get longer-term perspective from the residents employed, it will have significant benefits for the economy. Thus, as a demographically declining country, Germany will gain long-term benefit from welcoming migrants. Domestic and EU-wide opposition to Merkel's policies increased. At the beginning of the crisis, Merkel framed the migrant question in terms of national measures and her own personal views. Also, the wider German public supported her policies, which was crucial for Merkel because in international crisis situations, the importance of the domestic audience starts to increase. However, as the crisis went on, the day-to-day practice in Germany became increasingly affected by the great number of refugees and the continuous migration flow started to raise intolerant opposing voices and provoke also the violent demonstrations. Merkel had defended her values against the extremist actions. She stated that the democratic state will turn against those who attack other people or invoke demonstrations. Hence, Merkel's policy of continuity based on the historical experience and values started to meet opposition as Germany, the lender, and municipalities were reaching the limits of their capacities. The rising extremist voices were not only opposition Merkel's migrant policy had to face domestically. Also, members of the junior coalition party SPD, such as Vice Chancellor Sigmar Gabriel and Federal President Joachim Gauck, were critical. Federal President Gauck opposed Merkel's migrant policy, saying that our heart is wide, but our possibilities is limited, and warned against division of the country in the migrant question. This might have gradually started to limit Merkel's room for maneuver domestically. Furthermore, in contrast to the past, the support of small anti-immigration opposition party AfD started to increase somewhat, and Pegida organization gained supporters, and they were to balance the Chancellor's powerful position in shaping German policies. Merkel reflected on the diverse opposition by stating that the task of the Chancellor and the government was to regulate the migration flows in order to decrease the amount of arriving refugees. As the crisis extended, she refused to give any estimation of the number of arriving asylum seekers. Thus, if the domestic opposition was increasing, Merkel's migrant policy was received with criticism also from other European capitals. In the beginning of the crisis, the Chancellor did not warn her EU partners, including France, about the German open door policy towards refugees. However, Merkel quickly found common views with the President Hollande. She urged that Europe should act together. The burden should be fairly shared among the member states, and mandatory quotas for refugees across the EU countries should be agreed on. This was supported by the European Commission, which planned to propose a new permanent system of emergency refugee sharing in the Union. The national and EU level opposition started to become a constraining factor for Merkel's migrant policy. Internal national division becomes evident towards mid-September, and Germany introduced border the Schengen Agreement in regard to open borders. According to German Minister of Interior Thomas de Maizière, the aim of the control was to limit the migration flows and to return the orderly procedures when people enter the country. In order to reinforce German commitment to Europe, in early October, Merkel gave a speech together with President Hollande in front of a European Parliament. She stressed that instead of falling back to acting as a separate nation states, more Europe and solidarity will be. They will not become less. Therefore, she hoped that there should be European and international solutions. European external borders should be protected. There should be a fair distribution of refugees within the EU, and the cost of flight must be tackled. Hence, it should be discussed why Merkel faced fierce opposition of many levels. To different crises, the role of Chancellor Merkel has grown not only nationally but also in international and Europe politics. So, because of Germany's leading role in many issues over the past years, the domestic expectation for strong decisive policy, Germany has been quite strongly led by Merkel's beliefs and values. Policies ranking on the domestic level. The expectations also have increased on the other EU member states on Merkel to even stronger positions in managing the European-wide crisis. However, German actions throughout the crisis could be seen as deflecting, as they have not taken responsibility for Europe, but have still been pressuring others to act according to the will of Germany. This may cause opposing reactions. Thus, if Merkel's early decision to open the doors.
Qashmal?
Merkel trying hands dog.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
I think we talked about what is like what we gonna do in this this what we telling. I think this now is Alessandro turn to speak.
Okay, go on.
Yes. And for concluding remarks, leader as an agent of strategic social construction. The aim of this article was to examine German federal chancellor Angela Merkel's cause, belief, and policy framing process during the first months of Europe's migrant crisis. In the early stage of the crisis, Chancellor Merkel started to frame the migrant question according to her personal beliefs and value, which was supported by the German public. Merkel stressed her personal view. Human dignity shall be inviolable, and the fundamental right to the assume for the politically persecuted no upper limit, and encourage German public atmosphere with we're scoffen dash. We will manage this. In the background of her police position can be also be view German difficult history and failed integration of the immigrant in the 60s. However, during autumn the day-to-day practice in the member states start to get overwhelmed by the increasing migration flow, and the public began to call quick solution. Domestically, the key public figure, but from the junior coalition party, SPD, and the sister party, uh, CSU, criticized Merkel open door migrant policy. Also, some leaders of the other EU member states of Merkel and view that her policy operate a pull factor from increasing migration flows. Uh, Merkel defend her policy by stating that it was her duty to contribute so that the immigration questions could be solved long term. She says that she was not seeking a brand solution, but rather sustain ones. Although national measures were necessary in the beginning of the crisis, a comprehensive understanding of the migration questions and long-term policy were required in order to reduce the number of refugees sustainably. Thus, Chancellor Merkel was gradually getting trapped between international or EU and national level in conducting German policy. Hence, in course of events, Chancellor Merkel started to frame the migrant question more in international terms to global event. Merkel's belief on the nature of the operational environment, she made the reforms towards more cooperative direction as she pointed out that isolation would be smart alternative either from the EU. In order to manage the immigration challenge in the globalized world, Merkel importance of joint action on every level view that one and salt act simultaneously from national. The EU and the global levels, thus the Chancellor's cooperative beliefs and the international frame on the Germany migrant policy required both coherent EU policy, international cooperation, Merkel initiative to organize an EU-Africa summit as well, the EU-Turkey summit, but work to this end. By embracing the international frame on the migrant questions, it would be easier for the Chancellor Merkel to continue to shape policy internationally with more long-term increase. German influence and interest in the countries of the origins and the Middle East region as a whole. Here, also the role development policy is importance, and in addition to increasing German international power, emphasis on the international frame might also alleviated Merkel's tight domestic situation. Because of the domestic situation, Merkel's hands were tied nationally as start above international to the Chancellor. Some of the key figures from the junior coalition SPD, AG, Federal President Gauck have criticized Merkel's open-door migrant policy by stressing the German possibilities were limited. Furthermore, CDU sister party CSU has stood openly against Merkel and would like it German migrant policy. Also within in the CDU, some key politicians have given opposing statements on Merkel's policy. Moreover, the public has become exalted amid the migration flow, and there have been extremist attacks on refugees. Thus, Merkel course is facing a strong domestic opposition.
So,
Okay.
Kak Giwang.
Okay. Discuss to the end. Enjoy, guys, to the home, and next week.
Oh, wait.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Adding a last paragraph for more.
Yeah.
Construction as he framed and defines the policy on different. Furthermore, depending on the availability or research material, a detailed analysis of various domestic factors influencing German policy. Migration could also be further interest. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, guys, hope you understand what we talking about, and then sorry if our English is really good, and then maybe we pronounce not really clear. So, hope you guys at home still healthy and just stay at home.
Thank you.
And thank you, Group
Yeah.
7. Kak Giwang, you wanna say something?
Ya, thank you. Terima kasih. Semangat untuk ujiannya minggu depan. Good luck, everybody, guys.
Thank you very much for great attention.
Thank you.